Everyone is money maxing. Almost nobody is showing the receipt. 12 months of optimizing every dollar pays you $3,600. The same money, handled one way instead of another, pays $447,000. Here is every number in between. Money maxing is the internet's newest money movement, and the name is doing a lot of work. Strip the slang away and it means this. Go through your financial life line by line and make every dollar do the most work it reasonably can. Cancel what you forgot you were paying for. Move your cash somewhere that actually pays you. Take the points you were already entitled to. Call the companies that quietly raised your rates. It is good advice. It has been good advice for 30 years. What is missing, everywhere it is being shared, is the arithmetic. So here are the rules of the next 12 months. You are on an ordinary budget. Nothing dramatic happens. You do not get a raise. You do not sell anything. You do not start a side business. You simply run the 5 moves, one at a time, and you keep a receipt for each one with the assumption written on it. At the end, we add it up. Every figure you are about to see is stated together with the number it depends on, so you can swap in your own. Move 1. The subscription audit. You open your bank app and you read 12 months backwards, not one. That matters, because the ones that hurt are annual. You find the streaming service you kept for a single show, the cloud storage you outgrew, the app that charged you after a free trial you meant to cancel, the second music subscription somebody else in the house set up. It comes to $47 a month. Not one of those charges was big enough to notice on its own. Together, they are $564 a year. The receipt, $47 a month, $564 a year. It took about 40 minutes. Move 2. Cash that earns. You have $12,000 sitting in an emergency fund, and that fund is doing its job. The problem is where it sits. In an ordinary account paying 0.01%, $12,000 earns you $1.20 a year. In a high-yield account paying 4%, the same $12,000 earns $480. Same money, same access, same protection. The only difference is which building it sleeps in. This is the highest paid hour of work in the entire year. The receipt, $480 for one transfer. Move 3. Rewards, done properly. You spend about $2,000 a month on things you were buying anyway. Groceries, fuel, bills. On a card earning nothing, that returns nothing. Moved on to cards averaging 1.6% back on that same spending, it returns $384 a year. One condition, and it is not optional. The balance is paid in full every month. If it is not, the interest eats the rewards several times over, and this move stops being a gain and becomes the most expensive line on the receipt. Rewards are a discount on money you already spent. They are never a reason to spend. Move 4. The calls nobody wants to make. Phone, internet, car insurance. All 3 quietly rose while you were not looking because the price you were quoted was an introductory one, and the renewal never arrives with a warning. So you spend one afternoon, you get competing quotes first, then you call and you ask what they can do. 2 of the 3 move. $61 a month, $732 a year, for about 3 hours of mild discomfort. That works out to roughly $240 an hour. Move 5. The redirect. This one gets misunderstood, so be careful with it. You are not cutting the things you enjoy. You are cutting the things you did not choose. The delivery order placed because you were tired. The second coffee bought out of habit rather than pleasure. The purchase made at 11 at night, on a phone, in the dark. $120 a month. $1,440 a year. And your life does not get smaller, because everything you actually looked forward to stayed exactly where it was. So here is the receipt for the year. Subscriptions, $564. Cash moved, $480. Rewards, $384. Bills renegotiated, $732. Redirected spending, $1,440. Total recovered, $3,600. $300 a month out of an ordinary budget with no raise and no second job. That is money maxing. And it worked. And this is where almost every version of this trend stops. Because there is a question the tactics never answer. Where does the $3,600 go? If it sits in your checking account, it will be gone by the end of the year. Not dramatically. It will quietly become slightly nicer versions of things. That is not a moral failure. It is simply what money does when it has nowhere to be. But if you set up one automatic transfer, $300 a month, into a broad index fund, and you never touch it, then after 10 years at an 8% average return, it is about $54,900. After 30 years, it is about $447,000. 8% is a long-run average, not a promise, and some of those years will be red. But the shape is the point. The same $3,600 is worth either $3,600 or $447,000. The optimizing was never the hard part. The automatic transfer is. One more thing, because this is the step the trend skips entirely, and it is the reason optimized budgets fall apart. Your expenses are not all monthly. The tire, the annual insurance premium, the vet, the boiler. If you have nothing set aside for the irregular ones, the next surprise takes back everything you recovered, and the card comes straight back out. So before the investing, send 1 month of that $300 into a separate account for the things you know are coming, but cannot put a date on. Moneymaxxing without it is just a very organized way of arriving in the same place. If you run this yourself, keep the assumptions visible. That is the entire habit. Every video here ends the same way, with the receipt and the numbers behind it. Subscribe if that is what you want more of. And tell me the leak you found in your own 12 months. I will price the most common one in the next video.